Hi, this is Mart from Mart's Movies Review. Today I'm going to talk about the movie The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, who directed Cloverfield, Let Me In, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, New Batman with Robert Pattinson. It's got a great, strong cast. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as Riddler, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon, Peter Sarsgaard as District Attorney Gil Colson, and the great Andy Serkis as Alfred. The story begins with it looks like Batman looking through the eyes of his mask at the apartment of Gotham's mayor, and just him fooling around with his kid, just playing silly games. Then we see afterwards, just kind of a frozen creature in the room with the mayor of Gotham, and then you just see the kind of the murder of the mayor. It's actually the Riddler himself. The Riddler just kills the mayor of Gotham, Gotham's mayor. We see Batman then and Jim Gordon investigating the case, and the Riddler leaves a USB in the mayor's car, and they look at the images on the USB. Jim and Batman. We see the mayor with a woman, Annika, outside the Iceberg Lounge nightclub, which is run by the Penguin, who's working for Carmine Falcone, one of Gotham City's gangsters. Yeah, the Penguin knows nothing about what just happened. So then you have Selena Kyle, Catwoman, who's working at the nightclub, and she's in with the Penguin and Falcone, and they show Batman following her home to her own place, and they show that she was a friend with the woman that was seeing the mayor. So Batman talks to her at her own place. They leave the place anyway, come back later, the place is ransacked and Annika is taken away. See, some of the police and some of the heads of the department are not happy with Batman helping out Jim Gordon, Lieutenant Gordon, and the commissioner's not happy, Commissioner Savage, but you find out he's on the payroll then of the gangsters who are working with Falcone, and they're not happy with him at all. Why are you working, Jim, with this vigilante Batman? So the story moves on anyway, and we find out that the district attorney, Commissioner Savage, and some higher ups in the cops in the Gotham City's police are on the payroll of Falcone. And the Riddler abducts Colson, the district attorney, and at the funeral of the mayor, and causes a scene, and the Batman has to deal with riddles that the Riddler is putting to Colson, and the last riddle is more of a question, and Colson refuses to answer, and there's a big blast, and Batman survives the blast anyway, but Colson, unfortunately, Peter Sarsgaard, very interesting role played by Sarsgaard in the film. He's only got a kind of a cameo role, but he's absolutely brilliant in it. So there's different gangsters around Gotham, like Salvatore Maroni, and basically he was taken down on a drugs bust, and people are wondering who was the snitch, and they're all trying to find out, and it looks like it was Falcone, and Falcone got everybody wrapped up around his little finger. And it goes into stories then. There's stories been spun about the Wayne family and the Arkham family. We find out deeper truths then about Thomas Wayne when he was going for mayor of Gotham. He had ideas about starting an orphanage, and it didn't happen. And then the Riddler was a child at the time, and he could have been in an orphanage, but he lived a kind of a worse life than if the orphanage had taken off. And then there were stories about a journalist had dug up stories about the Wayne and Arkham families, and Thomas Wayne's wife Martha had some kind of mental illness, and her family had kind of mental health and violent problems in their past. And it turns out Thomas Wayne wanted Falcone just to talk to the journalist, to try and pay him off or put him off the case, and he wouldn't, so Falcone ends up killing him anyway, getting rid of the journalist. And all this has been said to young Bruce Wayne by Alfred, Alfred gets caught up in a letter bomb, and he's in hospital, relaying all this to Bruce Wayne, that his father was going to come forward anyway and just talk about Falcone and the journalist, and before he got killed with his wife when Bruce is a young boy. So there's havoc carried out around town anyway, and they end up with the Batman and the Riddler coming face to face, and there's all these kind of like car bombs and letter bombs being set off around the city, and there's floodings. At the end, he deals with a lot of the trouble in the city, does Batman, and he's hanging out with Catwoman. Catwoman kind of leaves Gotham towards the end of the movie. She's kind of fed up with the place, doesn't think there's any chance for the place in the future. And the Batman believes in Gotham, believes in hope, and sees a better, brighter future for all the residents of Gotham City. We see in the film as well just desserts and justice being dished out to Falcone, who's arrested, yet he's brought out into the light by Batman. He's kind of part of one of the Riddler's riddles as well. The Penguin kind of sets off the Batman, and we see then Falcone is shot by the Riddler. Then the Riddler turns up in a little cafe, reminiscent of Denzel Washington in The Equalizer, just sitting down having coffee, and he has the little kind of question mark, his little kind of seal, his symbol, all while he's sitting down. And he has a face-to-face with the Batman in a way, and you think like that he knows that Bruce Wayne and the Batman are the same person. Yeah, he doesn't, but he's got a lot of time for Batman. He doesn't like Bruce Wayne at all, which is kind of unusual because he's looking at the same person. And, he's raging in a way in prison and kind of laughing. And there's another guy who steps up beside him then, or I don't know if he's in prison beside him or outside. Telling them that I think what you did was great, what you did was wonderful, like your ideas, the way you played Batman and the rest of the cops, and it turns out it's the Joker. If the Joker turns out to be who I think he is, he's going to have a great career in front of him, because the actor is kind of a star actor now. He'll become a superstar actor. He'll go from a star to a superstar very soon. All in all, the movie is 3 hours long, 180 minutes. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 180 minutes. I think the story is very, very well told, and there's a lot of storylines within the story that connect all the characters, and it makes you understand their backgrounds and who's related to who. And it's just got a nice backstory to the Wayne family and the Arkham family, who obviously ran the Arkham Asylum, where a lot of these criminal types end up. It's funny, someone I know had one of these flasks, the flasks with the movie Straight Outta Compton. You've got these flasks nowadays of Straight Out of Arkham Asylum. But the movie is definitely one to watch. I mean, as people have said, I've watched other reviews, and people have said, Robert Pattinson is very good as Bruce Wayne and the Batman. Basically, there's no difference between the two of them. Like, there's none of this pretense, or like wearing glasses, or just trying to have a party schmoozer. He's just basically the same guy, but he's slightly different. But Robert Pattinson, I believe, is great. He's great as Bruce Wayne and the Batman. Selena Kyle, Catwoman, yeah, she's kind of a sexy, sensuous type in a way. I mean, as Deep Focus Lens says in her review, and she plays the character quite well. There is certain lines of dialogue could have been taken out, but beyond that, yeah, she plays the character very well. Like, her fight scenes are excellent as well, and her relationship with her father is interesting. The Penguin, played by Colin Farrell. Like, a lot of people underestimate Farrell as an actor. He's probably more better in playing. He can play lead characters, but he's more suited to playing in a cast of characters. Yeah, but he's brilliant in the movie. He's absolutely brilliant, Colin Farrell. I mean, if you watched him in The Gentleman as well, he's excellent as Coach. The Riddler, Paul Dano. Yeah, Paul Dano is an excellent actor, and he can play certain roles are suited to him. And he's definitely the right guy for the Riddler. The Joker is going to be an excellent role. Jim Gordon is Lieutenant Gordon here. He's not Commissioner Gordon. You know, he's played by Jeffrey Wright, and Jeffrey Wright is excellent. He's really, really impressive in the role. You know, he's got good energy and he's got a great attitude to him, but he stands up to Batman as well when he has to. Peter Sarsgaard, as I mentioned earlier, as Gil Colson is brilliant in his cameo. John Turturro as Falcone is brilliant because actors should look different, behave different in roles, and he's got a moustache. He looks different. He's behaving different, and it's just brilliantly played. I would recommend the Batman to see. It doesn't feel like 180 minutes, so you can watch it in the cinema now. I'd go to the cinema. I went there with a friend of mine, and it was excellent. You know, you see the up-and-coming movies as well. I hadn't been to the cinema since 2019, since the film, the Christopher Plummer movie, Knives Out. So I hadn't been to the cinema for a long, long time now, over 3 years. It's great to be back again. Going to see the cinema more often now. I'm going to check out more movies. For Mart's Movies review. That's the end of the review of The Batman. You can watch Lear Media videos up on YouTube and click the red button on the right hand side of this YouTube video. And you can watch our videos up on Facebook, Twitter, and the rest of the social media outlets. Talk to you next time.